You see these things on Pinterest and you want to do them and you mark them and you put them to a board, but then they just kind of sit there and la la land. But you can make your Pinterest dreams become a reality just by going to Pinspiration in Berkley. Jenna Hance with us here on the MegaCast. Great to have you with us. How are you?
Hi, well, hello. I'm doing wonderful. We have such a fun time here at Pinspiration. It's always a great day here.
I will say, because Pinterest, there are so many things on Pinterest. How do you pick and choose? Is it pretty much just DIY crafting?
Oh, so Pinspiration is a DIY crafting studio. That is what we're here for. We have dozens of samples that are out in the studio for people to get inspired by. And then in addition to all of the really cute and creative samples that we have out, we also have all of the tools that you need, all of the embellishments that you need, all of the paints, glues, materials, as well as helpful tutorials and a really great staff here to help make sure that nobody ends up with a Pinterest fail. We want everyone to come away with something that they're going to be really happy with here at the studio.
I've had so many of those, by the way, the Pinterest
I know,
fails.
and then we have all the extra materials at home, and what are we going to do with the extra stuff? And sometimes, you know, we just need what we need to be able to give that project a try. Yep.
What I love about this, Jenna, too, is because it's not only about having all the additional supplies, which the cost really starts to add up, but it's
really
the
does.
storage of everything that you have left over.
It is. So luckily we have a very organized storeroom in the back of the studio here where I keep everything sort of kitted together. And when you decide on what type of a project you want to make, it's easy for me to bring out just what you need. And then anything that you want to use in the studio to help make it special, whether that's our glitter or the rhinestones or the jewels or the gems, whatever you might need, we've got it here in the studio for you to be able to make it something personal.
Glitter has been banned from my house.
Well, it is not being here. You can get all the glitter you want on the floor here, no problem.
It's dangerous.
Glitter
is very dangerous.
I will say, I made tutus over the 4th of July for our volleyball team, and they were red, white, and blue. But of course, the red glitter tool looks so much cuter, and it was fluffier, so I had to add it.
But it gets everywhere, and we love it here. I love a nice sheen of glitter on the floor here at Pinspiration.
So with that, Jenna, before we kind of jump into how you guys are doing through the pandemic, how is this a franchise? Is this a new thing that's popping up across the country?
It is. There are about 23 stores that are open throughout the United States, and we are so fortunate to be the first one opening here in Michigan. So right here in Berkley, Southeast Oakland County, we have landed the first Pinspiration here in Michigan.
So how did you go about wanting to do this?
Gosh, what a great question. So my background has really nothing to do with arts and crafts other than that I've always been a DIY lover. I really have since the beginning. I studied human resources. I was a human resources manager for about 15 years.
No way.
And And I went back to graduate school at Western Michigan University, and I was taking a course on designing for meaningful work as a part of my organizational change leadership program that I'm doing. And in that, I had to write an essay about if you could do anything, what would you want to do? And I kept writing about owning a DIY crafting studio where it was very self-directed and there was just a little bit of everything for anyone to try. And within a couple of days of turning in that essay, there was a sponsored Facebook ad saying that they were looking for franchisees in our market. When I watched their ad, I just knew I had to throw my hat in the ring. I knew that, Berkley would be a perfect space for this. And with my business background and my husband's background in arts and photography, we knew that we would be able to just knock it out of the park here.
So how long have you been open?
That's a great question. We officially opened our doors for our soft opening over Memorial Day weekend. However, we purchased our franchise agreement back in October of 2019. So before things got a little crazy with the pandemic. So we came back from training in Arizona from the flagship store at the end of February. And within just a matter of weeks, everything really started to close down. So we had a long time where we had a lot of inventory just delivered to our home. I had a long time to make a lot of the samples for in the studio. It was great to have my kids involved in getting the samples kind of pulled together. And then construction took construction took its sweet time as well. And then, we were able to open our doors finally Memorial Day weekend of this year to such a warm reception within the community. It has just been wonderful to see how people are just ready to come together and laugh and create and do something out of the house.
Jenna Hance with us here on the MegaCast. She is the owner at the Pinspiration over in Berkley. And because, Jenna, you are in a great community. Berkley is a very tight-knit, great community. But anything, you put Pinterest connected with anything, people are going to go crazy.
They understand it. Yeah, they want to try. They're willing to try. And what I love is seeing how creative kids can be here, people of all ages and abilities. I think our most frequent customers right now are grandparents bringing their grandkids and just coming and crafting and getting silly here together.
Wow. Huh. So how does it work? Do people need to make reservations? Is it kind of like, because we did see over the past few years, there's been a lot of those pop-ups of like the board and brush type stores. So is it kind of a similar format? How does this work?
Similar in some ways, very different in others. So at our studio, when you make a reservation, you're reserving time in the studio. I don't need to know ahead of time what project you want to do or what it is that you'd like to try to create. You're welcome to have that in mind, but if you just need to come and get inspired, we have anything you need here to create any of the projects that you see. So you reserve studio time. A lot of time our main studio is open for walk-in crafting as well, which is great on a rainy day when we hadn't planned for, a specific activity. It's nice for families to be able to just come in and find something else to do for a couple of hours. So people make a reservation for studio time, and then everyone gets to sit down and enjoy their self-directed DIY projects together. So somebody might want to be painting some wine glasses. Somebody else in their group might want to do string art or a self-guided canvas. We also pour candles here. We do beautiful acrylic pours. So everybody can pick what it is that they want to do and make sure that they're making something either for themselves or as a gift for someone else in a way that's really personal and special.
This kind of reminds me of like the food truck of DIY, because typically if you go to like a DIY or like the board and brush place, they have very specific projects that you're making.
Right.
Yeah, and here it's like a food truck. So maybe, my girlfriend wants to do this, but I want to do that. So we can all just pick and choose and still have a good time.
Yeah, and then still get to spend time together. And then you don't have to kind of listen to me lecture or teach a class or teach a workshop over the time you're trying to spend with your friends or family. We do offer classes and workshops, absolutely. I have a reoccurring Wednesday vision board class. That's a lot of fun. We have a Technique Tuesday class. That's fun. Sometimes people need a reason to come out and get together. But most of the things that we have in the studio you're able to do just as a walk-in or a reservation.
So how does the pricing work with this? Is it based on how many materials you use?
So it's all based by per project. I have everything in the studio priced out anywhere between $15 and $70, depending on what it is that you want to do. We have a really great space in the studio that makes us really unique called our splatter room. And that has a reservation that you reserve by the hour. It starts at $20 a person, and you're able to kind of add on or upgrade as you'd like to. So we try to keep it reasonable for families in the area.
So if I can ask you, because as someone who's been on Pinterest from the very beginning, I remember actually doing a story when I was with Fox 2, because it was so new and people were like, what is this Pinterest thing? And doing a story and doing the interviews and interviewing like a lawyer about the legalities of some of the things being posted on Pinterest and the boards and all of that became an issue in the beginning. But it's it has really evolved over time. Pinterest is for anyone that's a big Pinterest follower. So how do you try to pick and choose what you're going to stock your store with there?
Question. So our Pinspiration is a franchise. And so as a franchise, we as a group kind of have some core pieces that we know are popular in all of the markets that everybody on Pinterest is pinning and wanting to try. So all of us carry those core projects, and then we carry new things seasonally too. So a few times a year, I'm bringing in new projects. We're phasing out older projects, bringing in stuff special for the holidays or back to school. And so we pay attention. We kind of look at Pinterest and some of the metrics on what's trending on there. What are people pinning? What are people interested in doing? And then our franchise group is wonderful about helping to pull together kind of what that materials list might look like and how we can best help our customers with their tutorials. But we have a lot of creative liberty too on what it is that we carry and how we style our studios and what it is we want to bring to our local communities.
So since you're just really starting to get off the ground, what has been the reception? Have you been pretty busy?
We have been bananas. It's been so busy. It's really wonderful. You know, I felt like it was a big risk to start a business, let alone start a business during a pandemic. But the reception that we've had from the community has been just wonderful. Our splatter room is typically booked out every hour, on the hour, all day, for days ahead of time.
Wow.
The party reservations are starting to roll in. Word of mouth is really getting out there. We have people coming in and setting up bridal showers and baby showers and team building events and corporate events here. So people are really, really excited about it. I'm so excited that we have this space and we have it in the space that we do and at the time that we decided to be able to open.
Do you expect that this franchise is really going to continue to grow over the next few years?
I absolutely do. I know that there's other studios coming up in Michigan in the very near future. People are creative by nature, and this is such a collaborative environment. I just think it's going to continue to grow. I know that there's 44 more stores that are slated to open throughout the U.S. in the coming year or to 2 years. So you will see more and hear more about Pinspiration. Absolutely.
That is so funny. I will say it's probably good for you, though, all the rain that we're having. For us, like it chases us off the lakes, but it chases you indoors. So it's probably good for you with the kids, right?
Yeah, we have excited kids come in here all the time. They're like, I want to do this. I want to make that faux aquarium. I want to do this guided canvas. And I always say, it's a beautiful day. Go outside and ride your bike today. Come back on the next rainy day. And then we can spend some time to do it. Absolutely. Yeah, the rain is nice for us. I'm hoping the same will be true when it starts to get a little snowy too.
So what are some of your favorite projects that people are doing right now?
Yeah, so our splatter room is always a hit. I won't lie about that. That is always a great spot. We suit you up in a splatter suit, some goggles, some shoe covers, and a hairnet, and then you just get to throw paint around Jackson Pollock style at your canvas, at the walls, at your friends or family that you're in the room with. That's a hit. The other piece that I really love here are all of our guided canvases. And the reason I have a sample here, I'll show you. The reason that I love our guided canvases here is because you can personalize this however you want. If you want your rainbow to be different colors, if you want to add, I don't know if you can see all the glitter that I've added on this one, but if you want to add extra glitter, you can. If you want to change any of the details in there, you're able to, because you've got all the access to what you need here in the studio. Another piece that is really popular around here with our kiddos is our faux aquarium. And they turn out so cute, and they load it full of treasures and fun little pieces. And then they get to take this home in their own personalized way. A lot of the grown-ups around here really like doing the string art. I've got a couple samples up there, but I have one of my favorites here that I put together. And these are a great collaborative piece. And so what we've done here is we pre-paint our board, and then you add your pattern on here. This one I did as a hot air balloon. And then you're hammering in all of these nails. You can sort of see it's got a little texture to it. And then weaving all of our embroidery threads around to make it look exactly how you want it to look. So it's a great way to create some really neat memories here. And people are able to email me and say, I want to create a string art, but I want it to look in this certain way. And we're able to put together a template that's going to be exactly what they want to do. So
I did get one of those string art things from a girlfriend for Christmas. And I hate to say it's still sitting in the box. But on something like that, how long did it take you to do that?
Oh gosh. So, a lot of times with this string art, people start them and then they're welcome to come back in the studio and finish them up later. That string art piece took me about 5 hours to complete, start to finish. I did it over the course of 2 days. I sort of painted one day and did my hammering, and then I came back and did the stringing the next day.
So since you've been open, how many Pinterest fails have you seen? There's got to be a few.
I'm going to say 0 because if I start to see it go off the rails, I'm very happy to just sort of, we're going to pause. We're going to start over. I have prepared here what I call an acrylic pour. And sometimes the colors just don't lay right on the canvas. And so it's pretty easy for us to kind of scrape that, start over, and really make sure that people are going to be happy with what they've got.
So, Jenna, just another minute or two here with you on the MegaCast. Any advice that you would give to someone else that was kind of taking a leap of faith to start a business during the pandemic?
Yeah, I would say do it. I always say with Pinspiration, like, we have to just go with gusto, right? This is how we do an acrylic pour. You just have to have some confidence. You have to trust in the process. You have to be willing to see that you're going to make something beautiful for your life, right? And so in the studio, we're making really beautiful art pieces, just like this. Isn't that amazing? Don't these just turn? Look at that. Oh. So I say with anything, you've just got to trust yourself, trust your creativity. The community will meet you. That's for sure. The community will absolutely kind of meet you where you're at. If you can find something you're passionate about, you should go forward with it.
That was so cool.
Wasn't that the coolest thing? You got to come in and try one of these for yourself. They turn out stunning. They absolutely turn out amazing.
And what's great about that is you have a piece of art that not only can you hang on your wall, it costs so much cheaper than going to the store, but there's a story behind it as well. That is so awesome.
Absolutely. And you can, we can blend anything together. We can make it look exactly how you need it to. And they're so fun to do. And this is something, you can do at 5 years old, and it's going to be something that's like a real art piece.
Oh my God, that's so awesome. See, it's so fun having you on with us.
Oh, well, thank you so much for the opportunity.
Well, we hope that you guys have continued success. And this, it's a leap of faith to start a business like this, especially when we come from that 9-to-5 world. But on top of that, doing it in a pandemic and sticking with that vision. So we hope that this really just takes off for you.
I hope so too. Thank you so much for the opportunity to connect today.
Oh, you'll be seeing me in person one day. And again, Jenna, can you tell what's your location and what's your website so people, if they have to book?
Yeah, so we are located at 2733 Coolidge Highway, right in Berkley, Michigan. And our website is pinspiration.com/Berkley.